Cardinal Sean Brady's appointment has never been smooth. His 17-year tenure was marked with revelations about child sex abuse and molestation throughout the church in Ireland. Several former victims of abuse by clergy have been calling for Cardinal Brady to resign over how he handled the molestation allegations prior to being named head of Church of Ireland. In 1975, the Cardinal swore 2 victims of molestation to secrecy, keeping evidence of abuse from an internal church inquiry and out of the hands of police investigators. The abuser, Brendan Smith, continued molesting children until he was finally caught in 1994. Vatican rules state that all bishops must submit their resignation to the Pope at the age of 75. The Pope then has the option to accept or reject the bishop's resignation. On the occasion of his 75th birthday, Cardinal Brady's resignation has been accepted. The Cardinal says he's looking forward to retirement, spending time with family, and watching football. Cardinal Brady will be replaced by 52-year-old Archbishop Martin, the coadjutor bishop of the Archdiocese of Armagh, who has only been formally serving as a cardinal's assistant for 16 months. The Deputy Health Minister for Planning and Development for Saudi Arabia, Mohammed Al-Kashim, has announced in Riyadh that there will be no travel restrictions placed on Nigerian Muslims traveling into the country on Hajj, despite fears of Ebola. Meanwhile, other African countries, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea, have been barred from sending pilgrims to Saudi Arabia due to fears of the disease. The banned countries have taken the worst of the Ebola outbreak since it began, with the disease taking over 2,000 lives in these 3 countries alone. Deputy Minister Al-Kashim told Arab Daily News he expects around 70,000 Nigerian Muslims to make the Hajj pilgrimage, but assures that the limited number of Ebola cases in Nigeria, 23 confirmed with 8 deaths, means that there is no cause for concern, and the Saudi Arabian government has not stopped issuing Hajj visas to Nigerians. We have made early preparations for the annual pilgrimage, said Deputy Minister Al-Kashim, and says his ministry has been in constant contact with the World Health Organization regarding Ebola and outbreak prevention awareness and procedures in Saudi Arabia during this year's Hajj season. The Hajj is a spiritual pilgrimage that all Muslims must make at least once in their life if they are able. Muslims gather at Mecca in the last month of the Islamic calendar to perform rituals in solidarity and faith. This year, the Hajj will take place in early October. A French group known as the Protection Service of the Jewish Community reported that anti-Jewish assaults in the first 6 months of 2014 were more than double the number for the same period in the previous year. Our newest chief rabbi in France, Haim Corsia, warns of creeping anti-Semitism, which he claims has been on the rise over the past few years. Corsia acknowledges that the French government is doing its best to assure the security of its Jewish citizens, a community comprising some 500,000 persons, the largest of its kind in Western Europe. Said Corsia, the government has understood that when, for example, in Sarcelles this summer, when a synagogue was attacked, the same people attacked the police station, so there's a convergence of the enemies of France. However, many French Jews have begun to immigrate to Israel, feeling that they might actually be safer there, defended by the Israeli military, rather than in France under the protection of the French police. Corsia recalled how 24 years ago, when a synagogue was attacked by anti-Semites, there were 1 million people in the streets then. However, when protesters shouting "Death to Jews" attacked Sarcelles' synagogue this year, there is no significant uproar from the French population to be seen.